doing it.
That's like with my therapist when I was like, I don't trust men. I will never trust men. And she was just like, we need to work on that. And I was like, no, we don't. You shouldn't trust them either, sis.
Hey, besties, we hope you got your drinks ready because we're about to be unapologetic as fuck this weekend. I'm your co-host, Ash.
And I'm your co-host, Bree. And this is episode 5. Okay, first things first, we always check in with each other, and that segment is called Mood as Fuck. So, Ash, how have you been this week? What's your vibe today?
Like I told my therapist, I've been having an emotional roller coaster. She was like, whoa. I was like, nah, like it's like a baby roller coaster. But I'm not. I've been okay. I'm just taking it one day at a time. What about you, Bree?
Wait. Let's backtrack. Why is it an emotional roller coaster?
I'm going on a vacation and that shit is stressing me the fuck out. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why vacation stresses people out or is such a big stressor beforehand.
Yeah, it's just like I'm like, why do I have to be stressed to have fun? Like
exactly. I feel as though women get stressed out before trips more than men.
Yeah, because the men are putting the stress all on you. Like seriously.
Is that so?
Like honestly, like all the boys, like so for my trip in July, and I would say in August as well, but it's only 4 of us. But in July, I'm going with about 8 people. And all the girls have a group chat. So the boys just ask the questions like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, nigga, we're trying to figure it out. Leave me the fuck alone.
I'm done.
And it's like all the boys. Like, it's not even just my boyfriend in particular. Like, it's Leighton, it's my friend. Like, whenever Leighton and him are together, asking me, like, so what are we doing? Like, it's just like, I don't know.
That seems like your set of group of friends. Because when I went to Aruba with my group of friends, the guys did not even care about the trip. Like, they cared about it, but they weren't freaked out about it.
Right.
They just packed what they had to pack probably the night before, pulled up and was like, we're ready for a good time. Meanwhile, my best friend and I
were stressing.
We were stressing, trying to find outfits, get our nails done, our hair done, everything. And all they had to be worried about was getting a haircut and maybe doing a little dizzle dazzle.
Well, these boys
at the nail salon.
These boys, like, they're very much into their looks. So, like, you know, we're going to Jamaica. So, like, Jamaica's hot. You can't wear like all the designer shit. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Facts.
So it's like they're more so, one, they want to know what activities we're doing because they want to know like if we're doing like ATV, like they want to make sure that they're gonna have fun too.
Yeah.
But also like they are stressing like what are we going to wear? So like they want to know the itinerary so that they can know like how many nice outfits they need to bring. And that's the question.
Care about that.
Yeah, the questions they've been asking are like, so what are we doing? What can I wear? What can I wear? How many times can I dress up? And I'm just like,
mind your business.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna get that on a t-shirt. Mind your business.
Dead ass. Merch coming soon.
Facts.
But Bree, how have you been?
I've been good. I went out this past weekend. I had a good ass time. I went to brunch.
It looked fun.
It was a lot of fun. With some like new friends and old friends. I don't even think I was that lit, but apparently I cut my leg. I cut my shin really badly. I was dancing on a chair and I fell off. Well, I slipped off of the chair and I don't know what I did to my shoes, but I had these shoes that had like rhinestones on them and all of the rhinestones fell off. The brooch on top of the shoe fell off. And I know I wasn't dancing too hard. Like I wasn't two-stepping in my slippers. You feel me? Like not even two-stepping. I wasn't like donkey kicking in my slippers. So that's how you know
the way you explained it to me that you weren't that lit, but I'm starting to feel like maybe you just didn't think you were that lit.
Bro, I wasn't that lit though. I know I wasn't that lit. I was sober in the spot until I got to the next spot.
Oh, okay. You guys did like bar hopping?
Nah, we went to like a pool party after.
Oh, you know what? I did see that you did change scenery. That was cool.
Yeah, it was dope. It was a good time. But yeah, I kept that momentum again and throughout my week, and I haven't been letting anything stress me out lately. So yeah, I feel really good this week actually. Glory be to God.
Amen. Okay. So you guys know that we're some well-rounded hoes. So with that being said, we want to keep you guys up to date. In this segment, we call Current as Fuck, where we talk about some weird-ass tweets, politics, anything in the news, pop culture. So the first thing that we wanted to mention was that yesterday, May 25th, was the official 1-year anniversary of the death of George Floyd. So we wanted to acknowledge that, say rest in peace to him, say that, we are obviously in full support of the Black Lives Matter movement. And unfortunately, those things, police brutality is still happening. But we do strongly believe that hopefully one day those things will change. It's just that it's obviously a very frustrating time. And, the one thing that makes me sad is that last year, we fucking, protested, donated, shared, did all that. We did a lot to have our voices heard, and it still feels like, we're being shat on, and it always feels like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
because even after his death, there has been so many incidents on police brutality on Black people, and even more murders at that. So it's as if that we're not being heard. However, I feel like a lot of the protests and riots have gotten some sort of resolution in terms of I forgot the guy's name, the police officer,
Derek Chauvin.
Yes, Derek Chauvin. He has been indicted, right? So, there has been some sort of resolution. However, it's not enough. We have to continue fighting, going hard for ourselves, and pushing for reform. So, but yes, rest in peace to George Floyd. Praying for his family and all the other Black people who have died at the hands of police officers.
Absolutely.
So the state of Texas, their governor, Greg Abbott, just signed a new law where women are unable to get an abortion if a heartbeat is detected in a fetus. And it's even early as 6 weeks where they cannot get an abortion. My whole thing is that's fucked up because...
To say the least.
Yes, to say the least, because for one, women, a lot of our period cycles are about a month, and we don't even know that we have a late period until a week or two after. And by then it's 6 weeks. That's when most women find out that they're pregnant. And I know that a lot of backdoor abortions are going to be happening with this new law in place. And I just think it's really messed up. I don't understand why old white men have any say on what women do with their bodies.
And I agree. I just feel like it's crazy that men feel like they can tell us what to do with our bodies. They don't know the anatomy of it. There's a statistic that only 11% of women have an orgasm. You can't make us orgasm, but yet you want to tell us what to do with our bodies. And it reminds me of last week's episode where we talked about our body not being a political playground or a place for legislation, because it's ridiculous that men are sitting around a table not trying to figure other things out, but trying to discuss what women should do with their bodies when you don't know or understand the different things that can happen. Sometimes you can be raped, or sometimes you can get pregnant.
On top of that, with the bill, so women who are raped or have incest, incest sex, they're not exempt.
Yeah.
So if you're raped and you get pregnant by that rape, and you find out maybe 7 weeks, you can't get an abortion.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And then, there are also other people who may get pregnant. I was reading this thread on Twitter, and it was talking about, I don't believe in abortion because I believe in killing babies. It's because I believe, that this person, and this guy was telling a whole bunch of stories about women, who needed an abortion. So, someone who was raped, someone who had a kid, but then they were going to be born without any livable organs. And it's these things that you're trying to take away from. There are so many reasons that women get abortions, and you're just oh, fuck that.
Right. And I'm also hearing that they're trying to take away Roe versus Wade, which protects women to get an abortion.
Right.
I just don't understand what's the big deal. Why don't you mind your business, watch your penis, and don't worry about a vagina because you don't have one.
I agree.
I got real aggressive with that because are you serious? It's just what are you watching too much face? And I strongly believe that they're trying to what's the word? take the power away from women.
Yeah. Oh, that's definitely what it is. Like, it's a power thing.
We don't even have control over our own bodies. It's ridiculous.
The fact that they even feel comfortable to have this type of control over us, it definitely means that it's a power thing.
Yeah, for sure. But if you live in Texas, I'm praying for you all. Yeah. Same thing with Florida.
Yeah, because sometimes,
a lot of these southern states.
It can even be illegal to go to another state to get an abortion. Like, you could get arrested or things like that.
Like, what? Y'all want babies so bad.
Babies that they don't care about. The foster care system is like in
terrible. Can't even take care of a child on their own. They don't even know what it means to take care of a child.
And that's the thing. It's not like they're putting things in place to make sure that these children who are born to low-income mothers or mothers who simply just don't feel ready to have a kid right now, like, there's nothing put in place to help these children. It's just like, no, you can't get an abortion and you deal with that baby. And then sometimes, people live in a fucked up world. Like, we live in a fucked up world where people lived in fucked up situations and they bring their kid into that. And when they didn't, they had when they don't have a choice. So
it's really messed up. But on a lighter note, I feel like we leave our juicier current event at the end. There was this video on Twitter that I also sent to Ash where a woman was proposing to a man. Now, it's not a common thing, but I've been seeing this happen more often. And the video is just a hot ass mess. Like, shorty have on, I think, a skirt or a dress. And the guy's just looking at her and she's bending on one knee. First of all, girl, when you get up, you're going to have concrete crumbs on your knees. Like, that's ghetto. But I guess she told him, will you marry me? And I don't even know what he said, but you got her friend running behind her trying to catch the video. Girl, why did you not say, girl, no, get up. Don't do this. What do you think about the video?
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking because there was this person on Twitter that was like trying to justify proposing to men, and I'm like, but why? Like, honestly, like, I'm a feminist, but like, that's the one tradition that's I'm not budging on. I don't give a fuck. Like, the girl that was on Twitter was talking about, like, why should we have to wait for, like, men to propose to us? Like, that's, like, us waiting for men's approval. Girl, call it what you want. I'm not getting on my knees to me get on my knees to propose to a nigga. Yeah, absolutely not.
It's just really awkward. Do you remember Love and Hip Hop with Jimmy and Chrissy?
Of course. When you said remember when, I knew exactly where you were going. Yes. And she's fucking embarrassing because look.
And they're still not married.
And that's the thing. And that's why, it is better that you wait, because when most of the time, like, when women propose to men, they do not get married.
Yeah. And I also feel like a man knows when he wants to propose to you and when he wants to marry you at some point. I just feel like Ash said, that's a tradition that I am not going to let go of, where a man proposes to me. If you feel like he's
taking too long, then leave him. That's it. Like,
or have the conversation and be like, hey, like, where are we going with our life?
No, just leave him. Joking.
Here I am trying to, like, be on the other perspective. Like, have that conversation, girl. You got Ash like, no, girl, leave him.
It's what I'm working on in therapy. Today I was actually talking about that. No, I'm so dead ass. I was talking to my therapist about a situation and of, like, not talking to someone anymore. And she knows, like, in the short time that we've known each other, that I have this habit of, like, just being like, no, I'm fucking done. And she was like,
that's where I'm at now, though.
Yeah, she was trying to tell me, like, you should, like, have conversations. And I'm like, no. And, like, and she, you know what? It was, like, kind of tense today because I was like, I'm not fucking doing it. I didn't say I'm not fucking doing it, but I was like, you want me to do this thing? I'm not doing it. And she was like, so why are we having this conversation?
Not
I was like,
you yelling at your therapist though.
I wasn't yelling, but I definitely got very assertive. I was like, I'm not doing this thing. I was like, you want me to do this thing and I'm not doing it.
That's like with my therapist when I was like, I don't trust men. I will never trust men. And she was just like, we need to work on that. And I was like, no, we don't. You shouldn't trust them either, sis. You should not trust them either.
But she's crazy. Like, really, what would make you want to propose to him? Like, you're thinking, oh, I love you so much, let me propose to you. No, girl, just get him like a jacket or something. Like, you can show your love in other ways.
Get him some flowers.
That ass.
Just a mess. But would you all, ladies, would you propose to your man? We want to hear at helpfulafk@gmail.com or
And if
at
you
our
say
Instagram.
yes, we want to hear why.
Yeah, give us the reason why. Maybe change our minds if you can. Persuade us.
Every week, Corette is like, what did I get myself into?
Nah, it's funny.
No, I
No,
know.
he loves it.
I'm just listening.
Period, Koretsky. That's on. I know that's right.
Suppose the girl,
And never, ever
the girl
wrong.
is the one that started the relationship. Though. You gotta broaden your perspective.
Like if she
Oh, I'm
asked
never
him,
shooting my shot.
But she shot the shot.
She
Yeah,
can,
she can shoot the shot.
Listen, that's fine. Shoot your shot.
But she want to shoot the final shot.
No. Fuck no.
What is that in
No.
basketball? The next shot or something?
I don't know.
The dunk? Yeah, no.
She's good.
She's good. Talking about shooting shots, I'm never shooting my shot ever again. We'll get into that in another episode. But every time I be shooting my shot, rejection.
Correct said, tell us about it. I'm crying.
Mind your business. If y'all want to hear about my love stories, DM
Follow us on Patreon. I'm joking. We don't have a Patreon yet,
Yeah.
guys.
Nah, let us know on our Instagram that you want to hear my love stories because I have a lot,
I'm
and
not even gonna
they're
hold
not
you.
all bad. They're actually really great.
I really think that, I was watching this YouTuber who is tired of YouTube flagging her content. So she is on OnlyFans. She was already on OnlyFans telling like specific stories because she knew like YouTube wouldn't allow it. But now she's on OnlyFans telling like her other like, spicy stories. And I was thinking about that. Like we need to do that in the future.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of like
I
content.
went to a whole other state for a man without telling my parents where I was. I told them that I went to school and I was like in freaking Massachusetts. Only my best friend knew where I was. We're going to talk about this in another episode.
Yeah, no,
Get ready. Okay. But let's get into our main topic, and that topic is friends. What about your friends? Come on. Will they stand their ground? Will they let you down? And period.
Was like,
So today we're going to be discussing all things friends.
So we asked our besties what they wanted us to talk about, and we got a bunch of answers. So the main thing that stuck out to us was how to make new friends.
Correct. So Ash, what would be some key points in making new friends?
Honestly, Bree, I'm not really good at making new friends. And it's not because I always used to joke around, and it wasn't really a joke, but I used to always say, like, I don't like people. And that is not true. It's not that I don't like people. I realized that I'm somewhat, I don't know, I guess I'm like an introverted extrovert. So, like, I would say that when you know me, then you know my personality. But, like, to make new friends, I get very nervous. Like, I do. So usually I'd let people like come talk to me. So, but I would say if you want to make new friends, first step is like, going and like saying hi. And I know that sounds like cliche and like childish, but like obviously, go and like say hi and like try to initiate a conversation. Like the worst thing they can do is just not want to have a conversation, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's not a friend you need.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
I mean, I would say for me, so I'm actually like in a space or a phase in my life where I'm trying to make more friends. Because before I'll be the person where a lot of people will flock to me. But I think I'm going through a transitional period, me being 23, where I'm trying to find myself over again. So I've graduated college. I'm not in the workspace or in the work building anymore. So it's not like I can make friends by having coworkers. And I'm not with other students to be their friends. So I'm really just like finding new ways to make friends also. So like before I would say, a lot of people attracted themselves to me, but now I actually have to manually find friends. And I think one of the key points for me would be is to be open in meeting new people and just like being yourself around them, as well as because you'll find out who will be for you and who will not be for you. I want more guy friends. So if you a guy, hit me up so we can be friends. Period. Nah, I'm not like desperate for friends, but I do want.
It's not that. The way Corette looked up, like when you said
You want to be my guy friend, Corette? Wow. He shook his head no.
We could be friends right there. I know you hot on the market in Brooklyn. All nobody hit me with a car for no reason. I said,
not hit you with the car.
I'm good right here.
Honestly, you couldn't have lied for the podcast. You could have. Anyway, another rejection. Nah, but I'm actually trying in the market looking for new guy friends, and that has been kind of tough because
men don't know how to be friends.
Yeah, a lot of them.
You want platonic friends?
Yes.
Yeah, platonic. I mean, what other kind of friendships would there be? I'm not looking for a relationship with them. That would be like a romantic friendship
or friendship with
not
benefits.
a romantic friendship.
So don't get that confused with friends with benefits. She just wants to be your friend.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do friends with benefits, unless you look good.
She looking for platonic friends in the summer.
I'm looking for platonic friendships with men, and that has been kind of hard. Just because like some of these guys like me, and that's cool and all, but like let's be friends,
right? Yeah,
let's
they don't.
Or some of them just don't want to be friends with me, like correct. So
the guy friends.
Let me do what Kim Kardashian does with Saint. Say it louder for the people so they can hear you.
Me and friends. We potted.
Thank you.
We potted.
When she was like, North, don't say that.
North was like, you don't even listen to her. Girl, why you lying?
No, but definitely being open, being yourself around people. And my other point is to not be afraid. My best friend actually told me this yesterday, is to not be afraid to like comment on people's things on social media. Use social media to your advantage. Yeah. Comment on their video or comment on underneath their picture and like tell them like, girl, we should hang out, or I really love this, or like if they're at a spot like, oh my goodness, where is this? And maybe they may be nice enough to like let you know where it's at, and if they want to hang out with you. That's how I met actually one of my friends. Shout out to you, Daniela. Love you, girl.
But what I would say is the guy friends that I do have, they're really my boyfriend's friends / boys that I grew up with. And I know that, God forbid we break up, they're most likely going to go with him. So, like, I'm sure that
ask you that. Like, how do you feel about that, though?
I'm sure that we're still friends. Like, because the thing is that most of the boyfriends that I have, or guy friends, I should say, that I have, we grew up together. Like, you know, I didn't just meet them. I grew up with them. But, like I said, they're closer to my boyfriend. So I think that if we were to break up, it would just be a matter of, like, this is awkward.
Right.
This is awkward because, like, if I'm dating someone new or if my boyfriend's dating someone new, it's just, like, you know, you're not going to want to hear about that. Or he's not going to want to hear about that.
Right. Or they probably don't even want to be in the middle of certain things or feel like they have to choose sides. So you have friends outside of like your boyfriend's friends, right?
Of course. Oh, you mean like guy friends though?
I wouldn't say guy friends, but like even women.
No, definitely. Like I have a few friends. Like I have friends that I have in college, high school, people that I grew up with. I have you. And like I would say one thing that I have been working on is not necessarily making new friends, but kind of like connecting or like reconnecting with people that I know, like I have been friends with, but I haven't been close to.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Because sometimes, you know, you can get very stagnant, and even if you're a loner, like I don't care what you say, because I'm a loner too. So like I have moments where I literally like I need to be by myself.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And when I'm stressed, like, you know, that's one time I'll say that when I'm stressed, I do not speak to anyone. I do not vent. Like, and I don't know why. I just can't do it. But I will say is that I realized that you do need friends. Like, I don't care what anyone says. You want to have friends because, like, you want to go out. You want to live your life. You want to be able to talk to people, vent to people, have people vent to you. And you need that type of interaction. Like, being in a relationship or not being in a relationship, like friendships are very important.
Yeah. So bouncing off from what you said, as an adult, how has the definition of friendship changed over time?
I think that when you're young, you know, you think of a friend as someone who is like in close proximity to you. So like you said, like, you know, you're talking about coworkers, but like being in school or like whether that be at church. And then like, you know, when you're younger, you think of like long distance as I live in Brooklyn and my friend lives in Queens, and like, how am I going to see them kind of thing? Or like summer camp, like, you know, you don't see that, you only see that person in the summer. So you're friends with them then. And then when you leave summer camp, you don't hear from them. But, and then because you're not hearing from them every day. So I feel like as you get older, you realize that you don't necessarily need to hear from your friend every day for them to be a good friend. Like, just because I don't hear from you like a week or two, that does not make you a bad friend. I think that a friend is someone who is there, and you would say that is, you know, like you can use that definition for when you're young and when you're an adult. Yeah, I would say someone who is there, and you don't need to speak to them every day for them to be there for you. But like when it's most important, you know that you can depend on them and they can depend on you.
No, I agree with you. I think over time, as I've become an adult, I've started to learn that like I'm not always going to be around my friends. Also, there's different kinds of friends.
Yes,
you have
that is very important.
School friends, right? I'm not in school anymore. You have your coworkers who can be also friends. And then you have party friends that you go out to party with, but you won't tell them your business.
Yes. And
you have like your close friendships where you call your girlfriends. Those are like your best friends, who like you have a strong connection with them. And then I also feel like sometimes we throw the friend term too loosely.
Yes.
Like some of y'all are acquaintances.
Yes.
Matter of fact.
Yes.
Like we know of each other, but you don't know nothing about me. So I think like differentiating these different terms and learning who's your school friends, who's your party friends, who's your close friends has been a big thing for me in my adulthood, because now I learn how to move with people. Another thing that I'm learning too is about high maintenance friendships and low maintenance friendships. I would say I'm a high maintenance friend, which means I like talking to the person every day, whether it's texting, FaceTiming, just so I can feel like I have that connection towards you. But I also understand that some friends of mine are low maintenance. So we would go months, weeks without speaking to each other, but once we do come back with one another, it's the same vibes and energy, which I also appreciate. Before, I used to think that they were acting funny, I'm not gonna lie, but that was until like I had that, I changed my mentality and I grew. I grew up, I matured, and I was like, first of all, I don't even want to talk to you every day. So, you know, so I started understanding that aspect of it. But that's how I think friendships overall have changed in my adulthood.
You know, what's funny is that I obviously would say that I am like the more low maintenance friend. Like I don't need to speak to you every day. But, you know, of course I have people that I do speak to very often. But it's like being a low maintenance friend. Sometimes you start to realize like, yes, it's okay to take breaks, but like when you take like months of breaks, or like when you take like too much space, then you start to still feel lonely like within that friendship, because you're like, oh, like I can't vent to this person because
it's been so long.
Yeah, like it's been so long, like I don't feel comfortable doing
or you don't even know what to vent about, because it's just like they're living their life. I don't even know. But I guess it depends on the relationship you have with that person, you know?
Yeah.
So now that we're telling you know, key points on how to make new friends, it's also time for us to tell you how to spot fake friends. Let's get into that. First of all, what would you categorize a good friend? I know you already touched base upon it, but what would you say is a good friend? And what would you say is a fake friend?
Okay. So like a good friend, someone who's there for you, someone who is supportive, someone who is not a fucking hater.
Oh, yeah.
Someone who is honest. We don't talk about that enough, but honesty. And someone that you can feel comfortable with.
Yes.
I'm sure there are more things that I would define it as, but those are the things that like pop up in my mind. A fake friend is a hater.
Yeah.
Honestly, like someone
don't celebrate your wins.
Yeah. Yeah. Who like is like a tit for tat, like whatever you do for them, whatever they do for you, you have to do for them.
Throw things back in your face.
Throw things back in your face. Throw little jabs at you. And like obviously there's a difference between like jokes and jabs. And you know, understand someone who does not respect your boundaries. So like if I communicate to you like I don't like this thing, Don't try to gaslight me and tell me like, oh, it's not that serious. Bitch, it's serious to me. And you can use that for any relationship, honestly. Like, it doesn't matter what type of relationship that is. You can use this. Like, do not gaslight me. If I tell you that this thing is important to me, respect that. Because there are things that are important to you that I might not see as important. But it's important to you, and I need to respect that. Therefore, it's important to me.
Facts.
So that's what I would say is like a fake friend.
Also, friends who try to be rude or like weird around you in front of other people.
Oh yeah.
That's not a friend.
Luckily, I don't have those friends. I think because my mouth is too slick for stuff like that. And I'm not saying like it could never happen
Girl,
to
you would
me.
get dust.
That's what I'm saying. I don't. It's not like it could never happen to me. It's just like I would be like, what the fuck, like. I'll really like I'll embarrass you because I don't like to be embarrassed.
Same.
So therefore I will embarrass you.
Same.
But I don't think honestly not from memory, I don't think I've ever had a friend like that. And I thank God.
I have a story.
Yeah.
You know me and my stories, y'all. So I have a story about a girl that I used to be friends with back in college, and we met freshman year, like the very beginning of freshman year, back to like the orientation. And, you know, we became very close. Like, if you saw me, you saw her and vice versa.
Right.
Everybody knew us as, like, that duo where we were always together. But I did start to realize certain things about her. Like, she was always pessimistic about things. She would always be so, like, upset or, like, be beefing with people as if people are beefing with her.
Right.
She would throw jabs at me on Snapchat. You know when Snapchat was a big thing.
Yeah.
She would throw jabs at me on Snapchat like, bitches be weird, bitches be fake, I only fuck with myself. Mind you, her and I were like this.
Right.
So when I be seeing her write those things on Snapchat, I'm like, who you talking about? So I would confront her about it. I'd be like, who you talking about on Snapchat? And she would hit me with it's a general statement. You know, bitches always say, it's a general statement.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, cool. But she always had that weird vibe and energy. And I also feel like her energy was like starting to project onto me because I would feel the same way as her. But fast forward, we were still friends. We had conversations about this, and she would like tell me that it's because of her past or whatever. So I'm like, all right, we still kept as friends. Sophomore year now, there's so many things happening with this one person, but we were on a dance team together, and we were on a dance team together, and we ended up living together in our dorm. So she was my roommate, right? Keep that in mind. So she would do little things like there was an election to see who would be president or vice president for the dance team, and like. She got presidency and someone else got vice presidency, and I didn't get anything because even though I was running for that same position.
Yeah.
And I congratulated her, but she'd be like, you wasn't congratulating me. Like, you wasn't giving me enough energy. Like, I felt like you was upset that you didn't get the presidency. Boom.
She just wanted
that
you
was
to be
incident
tight.
one. Incident two, her birthday came along, and I went all out for her birthday. I got her family to tell her happy birthday. I did a little get together with friends on campus in somebody else's apartment. I got her a cake. I decorated everything for her. Like she had a good birthday. Mind you, where I used to go to school at was like 8 hours away.
Right.
So whatever we could do, I made it really nice.
Yeah.
And my birthday is a month after her, right? I'm very big on birthdays too.
Yeah.
My birthday's a month after her. And when it came to my birthday, Shorty did nothing for me. So, like, nothing. Like, not even a little cute birthday video. She didn't get me a cake. And not that she was obligated to do these things, but I expected that from her because I did the same for her. Not for tit for tat, but that's just how I am as a person. And we were very close to the point where we lived together, where we did a lot of things together. Everyone knew her as, like, my close friend on campus.
Right.
Anyway, let me tell y'all. So I just had a shit show of a birthday. Like so many things. She was giving me attitude on my birthday. I had asked her if she wanted to come to dinner with me, and she gave attitude about that. And like the whole night, she was just mad stink, right? So at the end of the night, I'm talking to one of my best friends back at home. And I'm telling her about my birthday, and I'm just like, bro, like my birthday wasn't good, blah, blah. I'm just telling her mass different stuff. And I don't know what like happened the night of or the next day. But all I know is that, like, the next day she came back to me and she was like, did you enjoy your birthday yesterday? And I was like, yeah, it was cool. And she was like, are you sure? Because you said this, blah, 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 blah. Let me tell y'all, she told me what I told my best friend back at home verbatim.
Right.
So I'm like, at first I didn't get it. I'm like, first of all, wait, who did I tell that to? Who probably told her back? Because I'm like, how would she even know that I said that? Right. Come to find out, Shorty went through my laptop and read my messages. I have a MacBook. Shorty went through my laptop, read my messages, and was going through everything. First of all, sis, that's an invasion of privacy.
Should have fucked her up.
On top of that, there was just so many, like, I could feel her envy, because at the time, a lot of people were flocking to me and wanting to be my friend. So I could feel her envious energy. Yeah. It was just weird vibes. And after that, I moved out the second semester, because I was like, bitch, I'm not going to be staying around people who go through my things. It was a lot of weird stuff happening. And, yeah, we're no longer friends. But I've never...
We would hope so.
I've never experienced that before until that one person.
Incident,
that one incident. And I'm just like, hell to the nah. So when it comes to friendships, if you don't feel comfortable, if you peep red flags, let that friendship go.
Yeah.
Like, listen, people come into your life for a season, a reason, or a lesson. And if it's for a season, take what you had to get, take that lesson and move on.
Right.
Like, that was the most weirdest thing I've ever encountered in life.
Yeah. And, that just reminds me, like, when you have friends, sometimes you're not going to get along all the time. And, like, that doesn't mean that you just cut the friendship off. But definitely, like Bree said, when there are continuous red flags, you should definitely know that the universe is telling you something. And you need to, like, be aware of that. There's
so much more I could say about this one person, because I ain't gonna front, she was toxic.
Save it for the Patreon, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the OnlyFans.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, if you want to say more, you can say more.
No, I'm not gonna do it right now. Because it's too much. It's too much. Like, my life literally was like a whole ass novel book with this one person. Yeah. So I feel like my story was long in itself, but just watch out for those red flags.
But do you ever feel like you have been a bad friend, or like, can you remember a time where you felt like you've been a bad friend?
I think in terms of, I don't know if I would say bad friend, but I think when I used to, like, kind of get upset with my friends when they wouldn't reach out to me, or I wasn't as understanding, because I was a high maintenance friend that I was expecting, like, I'd be expecting people to give me, if that makes any sense.
Yes, I get that 100%.
You know what I mean? And you can't think like that, because one, they're not you, and two, everybody has different things happening in their life. And I used to be kind of like a passive aggressive friend, where like things would bother me. I wasn't as confrontational as I am today. And I wouldn't say anything, but I would act funny. Right. And that would, like, throw them off. And then, like, down the line, when I'm ready to speak my mind, that's when I would say something. And one of my best friends, she was just like, Bree, like, no one can read your mind. And if you don't say how you feel right then and there, I'm not a mind reader. Like, she was going hard. She was violating me. Right. But, like, she was like, I'm not a mind reader. You need to say what you mean. Yeah. Or say what you're thinking. Yeah. So I think in that incident, I wasn't that great of a friend. But I matured and I grew up, and I'm an adult, and I have a different mindset, and I understand how friendships work now.
And I think that I would say, like, the one time that I was not a good friend is, like, something similar, like, not being understanding. So, like, someone voicing something to me and, like, me not seeing it that way. So I'm just like, bitch, fuck you. And I didn't say that, but it's kind of what I said. So, and I do have, like, I just said, like, I have a bad habit of, like, not talking things through, just being ready to, like,
cut people off.
Yeah. And I just, because I just don't like when my feelings are hurt. So, like, I feel like when people hurt my feelings, like, I'm just I get very, like, rude, and then I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Yeah.
But, I have also matured from that. But yeah.
Right. Speaking of, like, have you been a bad friend? Have you ever lost a really good friend?
Yes, I have. I'll save that story for the Patreon. But I would only say that I lost a really good friend one time. And that was because I feel like I did not handle the situation correctly.
So would you reach back out to that person?
Not now, no.
Why not?
because I tried that. And
and she dubbed it.
Yeah, but it was,
she was like, "No, girl."
I'm not even gonna hold you, bro. It was like a year later. Like I completely understand.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, guys.
My sis held her grudge for a year, and when she tried to come back, Shorty was like, "Nah, I'm good, bruh.
Yeah.
I don't want to be your friend."
Well, I will say this. Yeah, she definitely did not want to be my friend, but it's because I be cutting people off. Like, that's literally.
Did you learn from that though?
I did. I did.
I was going to say, tread lightly if you want to be friends with Ash, but not communication.
No.
There's growth there.
I don't mind. Honestly, I feel like I have learned from that, and it's not a reflection on them all the time. It's really me and how I deal with, it's not just friends. So like, people will be like, oh, like you do this and this, but like you treat your friends this way. Like it's not just friends. Mm-hmm. Like that's just an issue I have with people in general. Ask around,
I wouldn't say that I've lost a friend, because I feel like all the friends that I have now are the people that needs to be in my life. Mm-hmm. And I've built up those connections with them. I'm trying to think about if I lost a really good friend of mine. I think way back when, in middle school, I had a really close relationship with this one guy. And like we viewed each other as like the best of friends, but things happened and we just moved on. But like all the people in my life now, I think are the people who need to be in my life. So I don't think I've lost a good friend.
Absolutely.
The only thing is I'd be afraid of having arguments with my friends, because like I can't lose you guys.
Right.
I love you guys too much.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think that like you said, everyone that's meant to be in your life is there right now. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's not even to say like I need that person now. It was just like I saw that I handled that situation like incorrectly. But right. I completely agree with you.
What was your longest friendship?
Shit. Well, I have an acquaintance that I've known since I was literally like 3 years old.
Okay.
And I still talk to her sometimes. But I wouldn't say that we're necessarily friends because we don't talk all the time. But like, there's still a lot of love there. Mm-hmm. But my longest friend, since I was 6, and I'm still friends with her.
Wow.
Yeah. We met in 1st grade, and I've been friends with her ever since.
That's so fire.
What about you?
I would say 10 years with one of my best friends, Shay. Shout out to you, girl. Mm-hmm. 10 years. We met in high school.
Damn, we're old as fuck.
Year. I know.
We're old as fuck.
I still can't believe that I graduated from college 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. Like, ew.
The ghetto, as Brey would say.
The ghetto. But and I guess the last thing we can talk about is like, what kind of a friend would you say you are? I can go first.
Yeah.
If you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would say, as you know, I'm like the affectionate friend.
Okay.
I try my best to like make the person feel extremely comfortable. Mm-hmm. I don't judge my friends. Mm-hmm. Again, I would say I'm a high maintenance friend. I like talking to my friends a lot. And I'm the type of friend that will like literally do anything for you.
Yes.
And like just be your support system. That's the type of person I am. And again, I be looking for that in other people. And I found that in other people, don't get me wrong. But like me trying to make new friends now, I just be like, you guys are not me. Yeah. And it's not working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, they don't have to be me to the T, but some traits at least. Like, can I know that you loyal? Right. Like I am? Right. Can I know that you will have my back like I do? Like, you know what I mean? So... Yeah, I would say I'm that kind of friend. There's more traits to me, but I can't say it all.
Crying. I would say that I am a low maintenance friend. So like, we talked about like communicating every day, and like I understand that people have boundaries. Like when I say low maintenance though, like there are certain friends, like the same friend that I talked about that I've known since I was 6 years old. Like sometimes we talk every day, and then we have moments where like life happens and we just so happen to not talk for a few months, and that like it's just like it's weird because like time will just go by and then you're like, oh shit, like I haven't spoke to Kaylin in like mad long. But other than that though, like I would say that I do like to talk to my friends frequently. And like when I say low maintenance now, I mean like probably like a week or two and like that's it. Like I have friends that there are certain people that I speak to like every day or every other day, and then there are other friends that I understand like us not speaking all the time. But I am a low maintenance friend in that regard. Other than that, same thing. I definitely would go to hell and back for you, and I feel like that's sometimes hard to find, and sometimes I'm not as giving of that side of myself because I don't want to be like stepped on. But I'm the jokey friend for sure. Like I'm very jokey. I can be emotional, but I like to make a lot of jokes.
You know what this sounds like? Not to cut you off. This sounds like a friend application. Like we're giving our qualities out for people to become our friends. Yeah. I mean, if you want to become our friends, that's cool too. Right.
I don't know. I can't think of like what else. I'm definitely gonna like have your back. Like, listen, if you're my friend, like just like how I'm feisty like over my own self, I'm like 10 times more feisty like when it comes to like my friends or people I love. Like you're not gonna sit there and talk shit about my friend. Absolutely not.
Facts.
Yeah. And I'm very loving, like, and I'm not loving in the sense of like, oh, like, you know, give me a hug. Like I'll give you a hug if I feel like you need one. But I'm not affectionate, but I am loving in the sense of like you can always listen, you can always vent to me. You can. It's a judgment-free zone for sure because I don't want you to judge me.
I used to think that she would judge me when I tell her certain things, and she'd be like, "Bree, can you stop?"
Yeah, she doesn't understand like my mind. Like I'm not judgmental. Like I'm not a judgmental person. So
I be telling her all my sex stories.
Exactly, and I'd be cheering her on. So
I don't do that often though. Don't get it twisted.
And if you did, so what?
Period.
Exactly. But yeah, that's how the type of friend that I would say I am.
I love that for you. So any closing remarks on our friendship topic?
Well, we talked about like making friends, or making new friends, or even maintaining friends. Always be yourself. Never be afraid to like reach out. And you know, sometimes if you don't hear from a friend, it's okay for you to like reach out and be like, hey, like how are you doing? You popped up in my mind. And it's okay to set boundaries, like for your friends to set boundaries with you and for you to set boundaries with your friends. That's all I would say.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, and continue to be a good friend.
Yes, I agree. I would say my closing remarks are, like Ash said, a friendship is a two-way street. So to, you know, if you reciprocate the energy that they're giving, and also like with making new friends, be open to it. Don't be afraid. Use social media to your advantage if you're looking to make new friends, and also look out for friends that portray that give off red flags. Like don't be oblivious to it. If you know a person is not for you, you know a person is not for you. And it's not to say that you just cut them off rip if they do something wrong, but if you talk to them if you speak to them more than once about a situation that is bothering you and they don't fix it or change it, or they don't care about how you feel about the situation, it's time to let that person go because they're not for you. And yeah, like Ash said, be a good friend to others. And, you know, friends are supposed to either be here for a reason in a season or for a lifetime. So you're always going to meet different people, and you just got to differentiate or be able to decipher who's who. And it's okay to have different kinds of friends as well. Yes. You can have your party friends. You can have the friends that you tell everything to. You can have your school friends that you only see at school. It's okay to have different kinds of friends. So that's my closing remarks. And we're about to get into our audacious as fuck segment, which is the last freaking segment. Do you have anything for us that's audacious this week?
Start over. So for my audacious as fuck, it's not going to be long this week, but I had this friend that I, used to confide in, and sometimes she would share some of that information. And she did that like more than once. Like I remember we had this mutual friend, and like news had got back to me. Like she was like, oh, like I heard that you did X, Y, and Z. And I'm just like, but like how the fuck do you know that? And it was something very personal. So whatever. I used to like take some breaks from this friend, but we would like always come back. So finally she went to school near me, and she was friends with this girl that knew people I knew, and I did not like her. And I did not like her because she used to talk shit about me. Why would my friend go and tell this girl that I do not like her? I'm just like, you're my friend.
Right.
Like, even if you're both of our friends, like, why are you telling her that, like, and I knew her longer. Like, she knew this girl just from school, and that was probably like a year or two.
Trying
like,
to kiss ass.
Exactly. So then finally, I remember I wrote her and I was like, yo, like, did you tell X, Y, and Z that I don't like her? And she was like, no. And I just left her on red. And that was honestly like 5 years ago, and I never responded to her. Like, I never responded to her. I just deleted her off everything, and I was just like, I'm just going to leave you there. But
the definition of ghosting someone is Ash.
Yeah. Guys, I'm really working on it. I know this was
like, no shade. We already told you that you have growth.
If you ask my friends, they know that I love them dearly. And I've been working on my communication skills, but this was something completely different. Like I said, there were like red flags before, and there was like situations before. So like when she told her that, I just really couldn't put it together in my mind. Like, what would possess you to do that? Yeah. What would possess you to do that? And it's like, I didn't fucking like her. See? Like, we spoke about her, and you was telling me stuff that she was saying about me, and then you go back and tell her that I don't like her.
Don't be that
What's wrong
friend
with you?
Yeah, that's fucked.
Yeah, so
don't be that friend, please.
She gets the audacious as fuck award this week.
Ding, ding, ding. Ghetto as fuck. Yeah. That's ghetto.
Yeah, and it's funny because I have this laptop that I've had since before college, and I saw the message like before I got my new laptop, which was in Christmas. So like probably like October, I saw the message and I really did not respond. I literally was like, did you tell XY that I do not like her? And she was like, no. And I think she said why, and I just left it there.
She never reached back out to you after that?
Of course not.
So she knows she's in the wrong.
Yeah.
So she didn't care about the friendship.
She wasn't like a great friend.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
See, don't be friends like that, and don't be friends with someone like that.
Yeah. Like, I just want to say, like, thank you guys so much for the support that you've like given us thus far. We're ending episode 5, and we really want to say we're so thankful. Yeah. And we love you guys so much. So
this is the end of episode 5. Thank you for listening, and I hope you tune into episode 6.
Bye, besties.